everybody, it's me, Teresa Perrin, and I just wanted to give you the daily recap of HLBZ for January 27th, 2023. Please remember, nothing I say is financial advice, and always do your own DD. And if you could, smash that like button for me. I'd greatly appreciate it, as it helps out with the algorithm. All right, guys, today was essentially just a day of consolidation that was very much needed. I am going to show you the technical analysis, and if you follow me on Twitter, I'm going to explain what I tweeted out to you. So that will be at the end of the video. For now, I'm going to go over a couple of things, and I want to clear up something regarding one of the CEO's tweets today. We're going to start with that. Okay, guys, the CEO is trying to be very forthcoming with you, and it's obvious because he's tweeting, to be clear, again, no dilution will be made today. Transparency before fake news and naked shorts panic. Naked short war is on. To those who keep asking me, we are not planning to dilute stock for the rest of the week. Stop asking or spreading fake information about my company. You can see he's very clearly getting frustrated, and to be quite frank, it's not my company, and I'm getting frustrated because I don't think you guys are grasping the reality of the situation. He can't sit here and say to you prior to regaining NASDAQ compliance that he will not dilute for an X number of days. And the reason being, guys, is because if the market cap falls below 35 million, he is going to be forced to dilute in order to remain on the NASDAQ. Do you really want his company to go to OTC land? So please, for the love of God, stop harassing the man and stop spreading crap. I am being very forthcoming with you. He legally can't say that to you, okay? He can't say that to me. He can't say that to you. But again, I go through the filings and I do my DD. He is not diluting this company because he wants to. Let's be perfectly clear. This is probably just as aggravating to him as it is to all of us. He is basically being forced to. This stock, in my opinion, has been driven down because of those corrupt, naked shorters that are trying to steal shares of this company, guys. I think you need to really look at the big picture here. The market cap is the reason that he had to dilute to begin with. They drove the price down far enough that he had to dilute. And then every time he did in small numbers just to make it above the market cap, why do you think there's a bunch of separate filings with dilution? Do you think that any CEO in their right mind would want to just give them shares for nothing? But they're forcing his hands because nobody was buying, right? The stock kind of went dead for a while, and every chance that it got to go up, they would drive it down by naked shorting it more. This is why I took HLBZ on as my personal challenge to get this company as good as I possibly could as a shareholder, to help spread awareness to you guys and to stand up for retail shareholders and to help the CEO out with telling you guys things that he can't. And no, he hasn't told me anything. He hasn't paid me a penny. I'm not looking for anything other than to educate you guys and to help spread awareness, because this naked short war is killing companies. Not the war itself, but the naked shorting. I don't think you understand. They're not only stealing from us, guys, they are stealing from these CEOs. So when you read this tweet, he's frustrated. He doesn't want to keep hearing it. He doesn't want to be diluting as much as we don't want him to dilute. His hand has been forced by these assholes. They are literally stealing from him. They're stealing from us. They're stealing from companies, guys. And enough is enough. If you don't believe me, please just go look at the filings yourself. It doesn't take a lot to look at the big picture. Guys, please believe that I am a smart human being. I do my DD. I do my time. I spend day and night researching. I don't think you understand that. And it's so frustrating to hear the crap that's out there. Clearly, this man loves his shareholders. He's fighting for his company. He's doing everything that we've asked of him. How can people sit there and just keep giving it? Give it a rest. I want to not see anything on my page. And if you start spreading crap, then don't be surprised if I block you too, because I see the CEO blocked people today for saying stuff about dilution. And I don't blame him, because he's had enough. And you know what? I've had enough too. And it's not my company. Again, I get nothing out of this except spreading the word and helping retail and hopefully putting an end to this naked shorting, because I have had an absolute enough of having my money stolen from me by investing in companies that have good products and a good future. And you know what? When the company EVFM got sent to the OTC on the 10th day, when they were almost NASDAQ compliant again, and they shorted it to like 98 or 99 cents it closed at, that was 100% intentional. These people are vicious villains. And you want to look at that stock now? Go look it up on OTC, because it's sitting at 5 cents. It's horrible what they do to companies, and you guys need to stop being little jerks. I mean, seriously, some of the things that people write, I don't know where you guys come off, but you have no business saying nasty things to people that are trying to work and run a company, and you're harassing them about something that's been out of his control. I don't think you understand how bad this naked short war really is. So please, let's pull ourselves together and let's be supportive. All right, moving on. I do not want to see another thing about dilution. He can't say it, guys, because he can't promise you something that he may be forced to do if the price keeps driving down further. That's it. Enough said. If you don't get it, please go and watch my dilution video again, because I make it very clear in there what the situation is. All right, so today we had a relatively flat day. As you can see, we ended the day 0, actually up like 0.5%, and then nothing in the after hours at the time I took this picture. However, we are starting to move up, and we even hit 30 cents after I sent out that tweet. And guys, of course, I bought the dip again today because it's an opportunity. I made money in options and boom, bought some more. So that being said, I'm happy that, I'm getting a couple extra days to acquire shares at what I feel is a dirt cheap price. They want to play this game. This is how you beat them, guys. Load up. And that's not telling you to buy, hold, or sell. That's just telling you that I am loading up. And that's what people that invest in a company do on a red day. They buy more. Now, HLBZ dark pool trades today accounted for 65% of the total volume. Let me tell you, put the big picture together. The dark pool is taking the majority of the trades, guys. How do you think that's going to reflect in price? And even though volume was up today, it wasn't nearly what it was the last 2 days. Yes, it was twice as much as the normal average volume. So that's a good thing, but it was still less than it was the past few days, and they're sending most of the routing to the dark pool. It's almost impossible to combat them like this. It becomes very, very difficult. Tomorrow, I truly hope that the SEC March, which we'll look at right here, the Occupy SEC 2023, it starts tomorrow, guys, and Salvatore is going to be there. I wish I could go, but unfortunately I cannot. However, I think that this will bring awareness to the whole situation, and hopefully we'll see companies such as GNS and of course HLBZ really start to move up tomorrow because of this. So keep it on your radar. We do have a catalyst for tomorrow, and the chart is very bullish, which you're going to see in just a moment. Now, HLBZ has moved to number 7 on Webull, but we're still trending, guys, so that's very good. I'm happy that we're still there. Let's get it back to number 1 or 2 tomorrow, or at least the top 3. That's my goal. All right, now, short share availability. Just to show you, this is why the price hasn't moved, guys. We started the day with 8,600,000 shares. Then they borrowed them all up, shorted the crap out of it as it was naturally trying to move up. And by the end of the day, they returned some of them because they were able to buy them back from you for less, for those of you that sold. And I hope that people are not selling for a loss, but you got to do you. However, they ended up with 4,300,000 shares at the end of the day. Now we're going to see where that goes tomorrow because I'm continuing to monitor this. And guys, I have to be honest with you. They're being recorded right now. So as bad as it is for us that, this price isn't back above 50 or 55 cents where we would really want it to be, just relax. Rome wasn't built in a day. This is a war. It's going to take time. Tomorrow the chart looks bullish. Although, let me be clear, just because it should do something, by no means does that mean that it will. Now, it's interesting that tomorrow is Occupy SEC because it's also the anniversary of the GME and AMC and bunch of other stocks that squoze in sympathy. And guys, there is a whole liquidity issue going on behind the scenes that many of you may or may not be aware of. And I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow we saw a little pumpy pump in some of these heavily shorted names because they need to cover margins. And in order to do that, they may need to close some of their short positions. So keep an eye on them. It may be a very interesting day the way things play out tomorrow. We shall see. Don't think what happened at the beginning of the week was really an accident. Because let me tell you, it was not. Something's cooking and something's getting really down and dirty. And we're about to see something happen. I can't guarantee it's going to be tomorrow, but I think something's happening very soon. And I will say that our chart looks very bullish for tomorrow. Now, I'm not going to repeat the slides that don't make a difference, but I am going to show you that right now, our cost to borrow is also rising, guys. It's at 52.24%. And remember, we started the week off in the mid-20s and even dipped to 18.68%. So this is good. We want to see this cost to borrow continue to rise. I'm telling you, I do not lie. What I see is very bullish to me, and they're digging themselves a deeper hole. All right, the short volume reported today, and please remember that this is about 60% of the actual volume today that we experience because some firms are not required to report or don't report for free or whatever the case may be. And others may not come in till the end of the day. But as you can see, yesterday ended up being 51.69% of the total volume was reported as short. So when they're shorting over 50% of all the trades, guys, what do you expect? Come on now. And today it was even higher. 52.57% of those shares that were reported are short. Now I want to show you one other chart. Look at this. This is all of the reported short volume for the last several days. This is absolutely crazy. And for some reason, these two charts do not match because, oh, maybe they do. They do. I'm sorry. I was going to say the volume's different, but that's because what I just said previously. But if you take a look, there's a lot of shorting going on here. Look at the 269 million shares, 300 million shares, 200 million shares, 73 million shares, 30 million shares. And tomorrow, if we rip, then we're probably going to have several hundred more million shares. The only way that they can cover these is if we sell. That is why I am hodling this position, because I know that, remember what happened with AMC and GME when they were super cheap and everyone was buying them up at under $2, and what GameStop I think was under $4 at the time, if I recall correctly. And look at what happened to them. They absolutely tore it up. Well, there is no doubt in my mind that HLBZ can do something similar if it gets the shareholder support. And I see absolutely no reason why anybody wouldn't want to support the CEO. I think he has been very transparent. And guys, you want a CEO that has your back. You know, as much as people love Adam Aron really did shareholders dirty, if you want the truth. And I told people that, and people didn't want to hear it, but I don't lie. And if I see something I don't like, whether it be with Adam Aron, with David Mitchery, with Salvatore, guess what? I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to be transparent because that's who I am. But so far, I have to say, the reason that I am supporting HLBZ with this situation, because there's many companies I could have picked to say, hey, something's going on here, and started doing videos on them. But I chose HLBZ because I like what I see in this CEO. So I am going to ask all of you to tell people spreading FUD the facts, and just hopefully it will stop. The more we fight back, the better they'll be. If you haven't watched the dilution video, please go watch it, because I couldn't be any clearer. All right, let's take a look at what we have going on with. Looking at the daily chart, you can see that we closed right above VWAP, practically sitting on it. Actually, it looks exactly like we're sitting on it. Guys, this is very, very bullish. We've held above VWAP for 4 days now, and it seems that we just keep coming back to it the last 2 days because it's acting as support for us. Now, if you're looking at the lines here that I have drawn, you can see that the green 13 SMA, I'll try to light that up. Let's see. So this green 13 is already above the purple 48, and the blue 20 is trying, it's very, very close to crossing above that purple 48. And if you notice, when the 13 crossed above the 48 is when we got that big move up. So guys, I'm expecting tomorrow that we have very bullish action in HLBZ, because that 20 should cross above the 48 and create a move higher. And then all three will start curling to cross above the red line that you see above, which is our 200-day SMA. Once we get above that, we are in very bullish territory. I truly like the way this chart looks. If you go down to the next level, you can see the blue wave in the middle, and you can see that the green and the red line now are both crossing over it. That is very, very bullish, as well as if you look at the bottom indicator, that's our RSI, and you can see that we've been cooling off because we were oversold, guys, or overbought, excuse me. And right now, we've cooled down, and we are down to an RSI of 58, and we're going to probably curl back up towards that overbought area. Or, guys, I always screw that up. Whatever, back above that green line, the 70. Sorry, my brain is very fried, and I always screw between overbought and oversold up because it's the opposite of what you would think it would be. But at any rate, it's the green line that we're looking at, and when it crosses over, it doesn't mean it can't stay up there for some time. Just like when it crosses under the red line, it can't stay down there for quite some time. But ultimately, what you want to see is it get up in that range and stay above the 58 where we're at, or above the 50 where we're at right now. And guys, I think that tomorrow we should see some action, as long as it's not another flat day that just drags this on, which is possible too, but we've allowed time for the RSI to cool off, and we've allowed that MACD to be slowly crossing up over the blue wave, which is what we want to see. So I really think that we're going to have a nice day tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a